Так, отже, друзі,
So, well, friends, we finished this block and we can move on. So now we will broadcast once again for our international participants, those who could not listen in English, our presentations of the residents. So these are the presentations of the residents. Once again, we will work over. There will be a translation, so please watch attentively, listen to presentations, get acquainted with the residents of the Center of Creative Industries in Ukraine and Mykolaiv. So let's move on. I'm Polina. I work with nickname Polykinesis. I work in impressionism, portrait. Maybe I never worked in my life because I was painting all my life. I love it very much, and I painted for the last 10 years about 400 works. And it would be nice to have more social events about what is happening in our country, the needs of the people, those who paint, and also photo exhibitions and art events where interesting people would gather. I wish to the beginning painters never to stop and to always move on forward. And the more you will be developing, the more you will have haters, but you will have followers who will help you to move more and more actively. I am Victor Adjamsky. I am a photographer. I started to photograph at school when my father gave me his Feather 3 camera. So I dived into this science. I filmed family peace, and I developed films at night. I never thought it would be the profession of my life. I wanted to be anybody, a taxi driver, a film operator in cinema, and even a truck driver. But the 90s changed my life plans, and for several years I was working at the FM radio. I created audio advertising. It was a very interesting artistic school, and logically it brought me to visual content, and there was a camera, a small one at the beginning, and then stronger one, and I was becoming more and more professional. So I was filming reports, topical programs, and a separate part in my artistic work was sports. I even had a photo exhibition from car race. It was the first exhibition like this in Ukraine. Now, when there is the war in Ukraine, the commercial orders are different. So the content for social media, educational video, but life is moving on, and you are not always prepared to everything. So I wait for support, technical support from the Creative Center, maybe specific place to create even a creative interview, which is difficult in the Mykolaiv. It's very important to get the opinions of the colleagues, professionals, and this is what I expect from Creative Center: new opportunities, new acquaintances, new technologies, and new achievements. New creative artist is dreaming of, and I hope that this Creative Center in Mykolaiv will be the place where dreams come true. My musical work and life started in 2004. In 2000, when I entered the musical college, in 2004 I entered the Donetsk Musical Academy, and 2009 I graduated from postgraduate studies, and I went to Kiev. Then I came back to my native Mykolaiv, and I loved a lot of jazz concert format and festivals which I saw in Donetsk. I wanted to make this the same in Mykolaiv, and they were saying to me, "Little boy, you are very young. This is Mykolaiv. Mykolaiv. This is the city of taxi drivers and gangsters." So 16 years passed since then, and Mykolaiv became one of the centers for jazz music in Ukraine, and it has a big band which has 25 projects with stars from US, Germany, Italy, Israel, and our project, they are small ones, big jazz ones, and they are very well known in different cities, and I'm very proud of that. And despite that from the beginning, they were saying that this is the city will not accept them. It's one of the very well known formats for the city and for surroundings. So in the jazz sense, I loved rock music, and in 2017 we started a project Rock Against the Jazz Battle, when rock musicians and the jazz musicians they play on the same scene, where 10 rock bands are combined in our one jazz band orchestra, and the format changes, and the musicians among themselves they as if make a contest, and it's a good format to unite people and combine two musics, rock and jazz. And as a musician, I like to be a producer. We have some bands where I participate like the organizer or a producer. And in Mykolaiv, we were producers with our partners. More than 1,000 concerts in all kinds of styles: jazz, rock, pop, classic, and we like to do this. We like to bring culture in our city to our people, and I like that people need this. From this place in June 2021, we ran a first big 2-day jazz festival, and which was visited by 22,000 people from different countries, almost from all cities of Ukraine. There were Ukrainian musicians, Mykolaiv musicians, and visitors from the US, from New Orleans, and together with our performance band, and the author of It's the Raining Man song, who was singing with the orchestra, and it showed to anybody that in Mykolaiv it's not a small city which was thought as capable of nothing for in cultural sense, and but in fact it could be the center, very significant center, and it is mixed with natural placement of Mykolaiv in composition with big water space. So we planned this festival for 2022. Unfortunately, the war changed these plans, and so we hope a lot that after the victory of Ukraine, again in Mykolaiv, we will run this jazz festival with our new friends from Europe, from US, and from Europe, and many people will come here.
Be
one of the residents of creative centers, one of the brightest residents of in the center, and you are one of the persons who bring a bigger scale projects in Mykolaiv. How can you say what is the advantage of cooperate with our Mykolaiv residents and international residents? My expectations are the clearest ones. I put lots of hope on the cooperation because we didn't have this neutral place open for anybody where people would feel that they can communicate, cooperate among themselves with international partners. It's very cool, and I'm sure it will bring new contacts and new projects, and it will be useful for the Mykolaiv residents and for our foreign partners and friends, and it will create a new project for development of Mykolaiv and our partners as well, because Ukraine during the war it became as an example for many, and namely Mykolaiv, which became the front post for Ukraine, and it's very good that Mykolaiv has this center. It would become a tourist argument for guests from other countries. It will be interesting to see what can be done here, what the people can live here and work. The people who defended this city during the war, and I hope that in the nearest years this cooperation within this project, tens of thousands of people will see the results, and it will be useful for cultural environment and position of Mykolaiv internationally, and it's a bigger plus. Today, when we recorded Artem, he said that Mykolaiv can surprise, and for 100%, I am sure that Mykolaiv can surprise, and first of all, it can be different. It's for sure that's what we can. Mykolaiv can be different, can surprise with its multifaceted character. In several years, Mykolaiv can become one of the most interesting places in Ukraine because it played its role in the war and having big potential with culture people and artists. I think it would become a very good place for multi-style festival, which would be run in summer and would last not only 1-2 days, but a week, where we would show music and photo and painting and dance and alternative styles of culture and theater, and the collaboration of these trends with artists from Mykolaiv and other countries. We have everything in Mykolaiv. We have tourist attraction, good places, a lot of water, bigger spaces, and many interesting locations. And so I think that in future, Mykolaiv, if we speak about big scale project, this is the place for it here. And during the year, I think that the small events can be spread in various locations in the city with different types of culture and genres can be run here. We have the audience, and we have by whom to do that. I am Ruslana Sikolenko. I am project manager related to Tavrian painting. Last year we joined a creative space which allows to cooperate with partners and present different projects on international level. Tavrian painting is an ethnic achievement of our region, and Mykolaiv, it's not maybe so well known, but it's the time to make it known by all Ukraine and the world. So it's about us, about Mykolaiv, about our heart. It's with the symbols, with traditions, with our blue eye colors, and so we happy to be part of this cool project and to show what we value and to present this painting to Mykolaiv and the world. So new opportunities is they are super, and for us it would be interesting to work with photographs and designers because we are related to Tevrian painting, and we would be very happy to involve in our project partners to create clothes with elements and ornaments of Tevrian painting, and we have different other fields. So this project will be capable to show mega cool Mykolaiv. Hello, I am Igor Artsibisov. I am a reporter in the internet edition, and also I work as a photographer, and I have an active life position. I became known several months ago. I was invited to become a resident in the Creative Center in Mykolaiv, and I learned about more information, and I agreed. I filled in the form and sent my data because I think it's a very substantial step in development of our potential, of artistic potential of our city. The Creative Center in Mykolaiv has not opened yet, but we as residents, we started to run some seminars, and one of them was a common implementation of a 3D model of water supply trolley bus, which supplied water to Mykolaiv citizens during the war. From professional point of view, I would be very interesting to learn about new technologies and the techniques related to photo and video editing, and the whole life we needed to learn, and cooperation with the Creative Center gives us new opportunities, and we are ready to participate with new projects and with partners from foreign countries. Hello, I am Gruby Mikola. I am a resident of Creative Center in Mykolaiv, and I am very happy that the first Creative Center is open in Mykolaiv region. My field in creative industry is creative of coins. So coins were always a piece of payments, but I present here souvenir coins. Every coin has a symbolic meaning. So they can be divided into patriotic, conscious, ecological knowledge, and knowledge about your history and the history of your region. So I am in this field for 5 years, and the most important for me is the coins about Mykolaiv region. Now we have the coins from 2 pearls of Mykolaiv region. These are Kinbor and Telgov coins. So we are planning to develop a new coin, develop to Adzigol coin. There will be pelicans, and there will be plants and animals who live in the region. So this is devoted to heroes of Mykolaiv region, with the text of the song, and the girl with bandura music instrument on the other side. This coin was created on the subject of Russian military ship, and on the other side we see the shape of Ukraine. I'm very happy to be related to creative community of Mykolaiv, because I will see the people who will work with me, and they will have access to new technologies. And greetings to all. I am Svetlana Vovka. I am from Mykolaiv, and I would like to tell you about myself as a photographer. I started to shoot more than 2 years ago. I thought that myself and the camera would be very difficult, and the Photoshop even more difficult. Why I started to do this? I had a lot of photographs in my phone, and my husband said, "Would you try to be a photographer?" And so we had a PowerShot camera, old one since 2005. So if we come back to the past, and I tried to see if I catch this activity or not. Then I started to film or shoot, take pictures of people, and people started to tell me that it is cool, and please continue. So I started to take pictures of people, cats, and even squirrels. And I love to take pictures of my city, and to watch and observe how the city is changing and people are changing, because lots of factors influence that. I speak not only about the invasion. I started when we were walking with the husband, and we could take pictures of cats, nature, and flowers. Then I visited different events, and I could take pictures of people. I could observe people, their real emotions, because they don't need to take a position. They don't feel how to express they're beautiful. And when it was the 24th February to 2022, when we heard first explosions, we thought, what do we need to do? We didn't we didn't need too much time to understand that the war came to peaceful Mykolaiv. So we took bank cards to take cash, because we needed to buy food for our kitty, and we went to see what is going on in the city. And then we saw a woman who was on the bus stop with her cat and son and bags. They were preparing to leave the city, and then I had the camera with myself. I never leave without it. And I asked her if I can catch this moment. I didn't understand even why, but subconsciously I thought it will show the people in Mykolaiv, in Ukraine, what is going on. And since then I am taking pictures. Maybe several days I didn't take a camera in my hands, but if these were missiles, you think first of all what is going on with the people, if there were people, because they were shooting residential houses. Many of them were ruined. Destinies were ruined. So you ask, do you need some help? And then you ask, can I catch your pictures and to document this? But life is continues in Mykolaiv. There are people who get married. There are babies who are born. So life is going on. But we would like that victory would come faster. I think it is important not to show in the social media, but only not only me, but those who took their cameras as their weapons in this during this war, to show what is going on in their cities and villages. Everyone should know about that. I would like very much to show how Mykolaiv will be renovated and rebuilt, and the places which were ruined by Russian Federation. And I would like to film very much very happy people in Ukrainian Crimea. Hello, I am Konstantin Derensky. I'm one of the founders of Design Studio. The main activity is souvenirs related to city of Mykolaiv. So the souvenirs, they're created by our Mykolaiv artists, painters, and together with them we create the products. For example, this is fully developed and created by with Mykolaiv painted. So this is the craft paper. All illustrations are related only to Mykolaiv. There is no similarity anywhere. When we select products and we product them, we are guided by the demand. We visit Ukrainian international exhibitions. We see what is most popular on the markets. And as we have our production facilities, when we produce small batches and then we increase batches if they're popular. Inside our city, unfortunately, the main problem is the lack of points of sales to sell souvenirs. They have limited time for operation, so we would have also we would like to have a support to create new souvenirs because the painter should be hungry, but should eat at least something. So if he doesn't eat, if he didn't eat from yesterday, so it's too much even to have forces to create something. So of course, war changes in the production of souvenirs. During the war, we created a Nikolaev brand, and with connected to the south of Ukraine. So these are the posters created by the designer, and we created the bags, and we created the magnets and also hats. In future, we envisage to introduce ecological products made of clay and wood with natural materials, and our perspective is to develop the food sector in souvenirs. So we wait for development of the Center of Creative Industries because they will have technologies and equipment to create stamps and forms, printing materials. I am Alexei Kabanov. I am a member of Union of Designers of Ukraine. Since the war of Russia against Ukraine, I went into the army and I help the soldiers and the officers to learn how to be video operators. And when I have the access to the telephone and applications, I teach my pupils to find something beautiful and good. During this war, I know very well the applications, how to process video, photos. I know how to use different programs, and I'm always here. I call for you to learn to get something new. This profession of video operator is very necessary profession during the war, and during our electronic age, this is one of the most prospective professions. So good luck and good achievements to you, boys and girls. Hello to everyone. I am Anna Ganjul. I am the resident of CREA Center. I am the director of municipal company, a gay agency for development of Mykolaiv. And today we are in a very interesting place in our city created by our team. This is the children's space, and in this children's space we have different zones for children in Mykolaiv where they would find the very quality spare time to get different assistance, for example, psychologists or maybe humanitarian aid to parents with the children, and there are different zones for different ages. So I can show you. This is the zone for small children who work since 6, but we have even mothers with smaller children. We have different locations with toys, even for smaller children. This is a play zone for teenagers. You see the hockey, the football, and also we see the cinema, and we have a look at this. So we are in our mini cinema. So you see the bags, sitting bags, and we have the screen, and we have the festival of cartoons and films, and our spectators come here to see the cartoons. So now we are in the master class. We have lots of tableware master class. We have other artistic activities for our children from Mykolaiv, and for children who came from different places and stay in our city.
Ми дуже вдячні нашим партнерам
We are very thankful to our partners who helped us to develop this project in Mykolaiv, and the partner of our project, Mykolaiv City Council, who allowed us to take this place for our children's space.
Hi, I am Sergey, a skilled photographer and videographer. I have a passion for capturing people's stories through portraits, from capturing love and family to book cosplay. I bring a creative touch to my work, and I am able to create captivating interview videos from important causes. I thrive on new collaborations that inspire and challenge me, and I hope to partner with you soon.
Доброго ранку.
Good morning. We are from Mykolaiv. I am Vasil Tarabar. I am the publisher, one of the co-owner of the publishing house, which is known as El Talisman for Mykolaiv citizens. And we work for maybe 20 years at this market, and we started with scientific literature, scientific popular literature on shipbuilding, on submarine fleet, but time is going on and assortment is growing. We have children's books, women's novels, and manuals. So the bigger part of our production is manuals for shipbuilders mostly. What can I tell you about the books? Some 5 years ago, we launched a series of books for English-speaking audience, for the scientists. So we developed the design, but it was printed in Zhensun University in China, and we developed manuals and some materials for Ukrainian Sea cluster. Some of them were presented at the summit in the Netherlands, where we had the people from Ukrainian Sea cluster. Some of them are used by the new generation of ship builders who joined this cluster. As for example, this maritime economy manual, it's very unique in Ukraine. This was presented. It was presented to the ambassador of the Netherlands at one of the events, and this manual, why it is unique? It is a two-language manual and oriented at foreign students who learn in Ukrainian universities, for those who learn the shipbuilding. And to create this book, we involved a famous Mykolaiv and almost Ukrainian painter Vlad Guryev, and he developed the cover, and these are his works. One of interesting works, a set of postcards, Mykolaiv sketches. This is the project when we have the paintings of Sergei Lunyov on one side, and on the other side the poems from Mykolaiv and Ukrainian poets, and they are done in the way that can be used as a present, a gift, or a postcard which you can send to any country in the world. When we presented this postcard in the city, as far as I know, it is spread now in 30 countries of our world. As the resident of CREA Center, I would be very happy to be involved in the events of this center. What was interesting and useful, the master classes on many things like photography. What was interesting, some elements about processing, about the light for taking pictures. Very interesting events on 3D modeling, and these events they gave us the idea of our future products, which can combine the printing and also 3D modeling. And I was very happy to see that the center it develops, and this is the space where we can communicate, where we can show something, print something. And I'm happy that not only Ukrainians, but people from Mykolaiv, but foreign colleagues, we exchange experience and we cooperate so fruitfully. And during the war, and I would say it's not good, but it's wonderful. Hello, my nickname Pablo Incognito. I am Pavlo Demensky. I am photographer from Mykolaiv in the south of Ukraine. I take pictures for more than 20 years in new and pin-up and burlesque genre. I have several exhibitions in new and pin-up, and I have a gallery on internet. My spectators are grown-up people, family couples. I help women to express themselves and to find out their sexuality and attractiveness. Sometimes even men ask to work with women. After several photo sessions, I have very bright reviews as they have changes in their personal relations. I at the education in the Institute of Culture, I have my own publication on advertising. I always took part in professional and union unions. I would like to organize international photo club of the photographers who work in a new genre, and the main format will be online. And also, I would like to run personal meetings. As far as I know, there are no union like this in the world. Thank you for your attention. Hello, I am Daria Litvinets. I am Ukrainian painter and documentalist. I document war through the art and witness of the war. When the war started, I started my project, War in the Soul, which shows the pain and the loss. And the painting became for me a psychotherapeutical process, which helped me to overcome the pain. And I understood that I can help other people to overcome the psychological pain. So I started as to be the curator of a social psychological project, Paint the Future. Also, the first 2 months of my work covered 253 children who had to leave the places where they were living. These were in the children's home and families and the children who left their places. They were from Kharkiv, Kherson, Mykolaiv, Bakhmut, Mariupol, and I have the aim to finish my artistic project, War in the Soul, to make my individual exhibition. Also, I will gather money through this exhibition into Ukrainian Association for those who had a psychological trauma, which will allow to run therapeutic trainings for children in Ukraine. Also, I would like to use my experience to overcome psychological traumas through psychological cards. I would like to invite you to join my project and to become as a participant, as a spectator, or the person who needs support or help, or somebody who wants to help others. Hello, I am Mikhailo Koval. I work as for the moment in one of publications in the city for 6 years. I started to take pictures and take a video because it was an occasion, and there was a need to make a small screws to work thoroughly in the city. So I take pictures of the city. I try to help people to speak about these memories. I take pictures from charitable funds because we need to show that Mykolaiv needs this assistance, that it doesn't go for some sales, and people use it, people in the city. In the future, I would like to take pictures of something related to victory, not related to war and humanitarian aid. And I hope that after creation of CREA Center, there will be a possibility to communicate with creative people, to show myself as a videographer, and to help them and to create a more quality product. Hello, I am Solnik Anna. I am doing several artistic activities. I know how to do everything. Taurian painting, I started to learn how to do it. And also I do Isolon pieces, different photo zones, some interior modern things, handmade dolls. I embroider and I paint, everything which can be artistic I do. When the war started, we were closed but this knitting takes stress from me, and I love a lot to create a Ukrainian woman and the talisman from Tevrian region. And also I love Izolan. Izolan is my nature. I started from this, and it's very important for me. So this is the center. It will shake a bit Mykolaiv, and there we can have master classes payable, or maybe for run by volunteers for children, or maybe or even for soldiers to have a rehabilitation master class to get acquainted with other masters and communicate with them. Also, I think that some works can be demonstrated and get some orders and to make it advertised. So the first they would learn about handmade doll and traditions of Ukrainian people. What does it mean for Ukrainian people? Which types of handmade dolls? What are their function? And I would like them all have handmade doll each to make it popular and speak about this, and they would like to come here and to see what it is.
Hello everyone, my name is Sasha and I'm the one who can bring your video idea in reality. Nice to meet you. Oh, well, it's just a camera. Ever since I was a child, I dreamed of creating videos, and now I'm here in Toronto studying my favorite major of video production and movie creating in George Brown College. After graduating from a video editing school by the age of 13, I knew video was my passion. So I decided to make my dream come true and successfully created a YouTube channel which now managed to gain more than 200,000 subscribers and reach over 20 million views overall. And all of that just in 2 years, by the age of 15. And now I'm a freelance content creator, video editor, social media marketer and a designer. I have created more than 1,000 videos so far, so I'm ready for your project. Your language, origin, time zone, doesn't matter. Do not hesitate and reach me out on my Gmail account, Instagram account or Facebook. And now, where can you find a full version of my portfolio? Well...
Отже, шановні друзі,
So, dear friends, we finished today's presentation of our participants. You had the chance to listen to their stories, and Ivan, I thank you for your feedback, friends. And we finished. We closed the study visit to the Center of Creative Industries in Mykolaiv, and we are happy to see all of you here in person, and we hope to greet our foreign friends in person here after the victory of Ukraine. And thanks to all, and we're waiting for you in Mykolaiv, and have good luck.
Recording